Right now, right now. 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 Oh, I got a real good feeling.
We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We gotta add a little addendum to the show map today, shall we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. It always has been, but it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the Vietnam War. The government has been getting bigger. Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. This is your week daily morning show where we bring you the latest and everything Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about the major flash crash that is going on right now on Bitcoin. As you probably know, Bitcoin has gone through a corrective movement over the last 3 to 4 hours, and this is certainly because of a Truth Social post that Donald Trump put out having to do with China. This has coincided with a major correction on stock indexes across the world, and this has also coincided with fears of revitalized tariffs on China. This has been a complete 180 in foreign policy, a completely 180 in the relations between China and the United States, which seem to have been warming, and it does bring quite a bit of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. It has, of course, also led Bitcoin into a corrective movement, and luckily, in today's video, we told you to hold off on that long entry that we talked about yesterday as a result of this news that Donald Trump has announced. Because we held off on that long entry, we didn't get stopped out, and Bitcoin has currently dropped down to around $117,500. So far, we had a great long entry that we talked about yesterday. Today, because of this news, because of the different environment that we have been experiencing in the Bitcoin space, we decided to hold off. We're going to look for better entries. We're going to look for a little bit of stability before we go into longs. That said, I am heavily considering making some more investments at this position as we currently find ourselves retraced about 5% from all-time high on Bitcoin. I want to load up my bag as fast as I can, as large as I can, because I firmly believe Bitcoin is about to take off to a massively new high. I think you're going to rally to 150, then 175, then $200,000 at some point over the next 12 months, almost certainly to at least $150,000 here in Q4. So today we're going to start out by going over what just happened that caused this crash so that you can understand the why, the what, and the how of this corrective movement. Then we're going to look at long entries and investment positions, and finally we're going to be talking about our long-term forecast and where we believe that Bitcoin is going to be going over the next 3 to 12 months. My name is Jeb McAfee. I've been working in the cryptocurrency space for almost a decade now, and I love teaching you guys about 3 main things. Number 1, I love teaching you about technical analysis and fundamental analysis so that you can understand what the markets are doing, why they're doing it, and what to expect moving into the future. Secondly, I like helping you to make money. I like helping you monetize these skills so that you can build wealth in the cryptocurrency space. And third and finally, I like helping you build freedom so that you have the ability to do whatever it is that you want with your life, so that if you feel called to do something that frankly doesn't make any money, you can do that, right? I want you to have the freedom to be at home with your kids. I want you to have the freedom to go build the business you've always wanted. I want you to go into a quiet place, go into a closet, go into a bathroom, go sit in your car for a minute. I want you to go in that place and say, man, this is my life I'm talking about here. What do I want out of my life? I care about this. What is it that makes you so emotional you could cry? I want you to go there and I want you to say, but man, I need the financial ability to get there. I want to help you do that. And so that's what we're going to be covering in today's stream. Let's give a quick shout out to everyone who has tuned in, and then we're going to dive right on into it. Bitcoin Henry is in chat. Valentina Zaragoza is in chat. Xavier is in chat. Swizz is in chat. Phillips Juan is in chat. Bjorn BCY, Ava Angel, Adrian and Sophia. Perry is in chat. RJ, Crypto Val, Shiraz, probably Shiraz is in chat, and Sean Flanagan. What a great name, Flanagan. I've always liked that name. And Bill Brower. Good to see you guys. Let's get started, shall we? Let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and read the Truth Social post that spiked all of this, but first and foremost, we're going to actually look at the correction. We had this long entry that we were talking about yesterday. This was a textbook long setup. Very obvious long trade opportunity that we told you 2 hours ago not to take. And I'm very glad that we did, because as you can see, you would have already been stopped out and you would have lost some cash for no reason. Before Trump posted this Truth Social post, the most likely outcome was that we were going to drop down to $118,000, and the most likely outcome was that we were going to bounce off of $118,000, which means that an entry around $118,000 was going to be a phenomenal entry that was protected by a very conservative and highly supported stop loss, which would then send Bitcoin back to the all-time high and beyond. So you would have gotten yourself into a very good long trade. Luckily, this channel showed you that that was a long trade that is now no longer valid, and I told you when that video went out approximately 1 hour ago not to take that entry. Ever since that video went out, Bitcoin has since dropped back below that entry and actually down to the stop loss. So luckily we were able to say, wait a second, pump the brakes, we're not quite ready for that. You guys have seen that in that video, and I hope you guys took a minute to watch that video and didn't actually go into that trade, because something has happened over the last 24 hours. And in yesterday's video, we also told you this is contingent upon nothing changing, right? Something changed. Bitcoin has been correcting ever since this Truth Social post, which was posted around 10 o'clock this morning. Bitcoin has dropped $5,000, 4.3%, down to $117,300 ever since Donald Trump posted this Truth Social post that we'll be reading in just a minute. We are currently down approximately 7.21% from all-time high. If Bitcoin gets down above 10% from all-time high, I am going to be heavily considering even more acquisitions of Bitcoin. I typically remain quite exposed to Bitcoin, so I'm not at any given time sitting on just a hoard of cash, but anything I can scrape together, I just dump into Bitcoin whenever Bitcoin goes through a major correction, because I firmly believe that so long as that I'm not overextending myself, I'm going to be just fine so long as I acquire Bitcoin as fast as I possibly can. And I firmly believe that we are going to have a very, very, very large rally coming over the course of this quarter, regardless of this short-term FUD. Now, let's look at the other markets and the impact of this Truth Social post. Ever since about 9:45 this morning when it came out, we have seen the DJI drop by 2.1%, and we have respectively seen the S&P 500 drop by 2.44%. That represents a corrective movement to the tune of a couple of $1 trillion. And it also represents a break of the 20 daily exponential moving average here on the S&P 500. If the S&P 500 does not bounce here, this would most likely signal a sell-off that could cause S&P to fall back down to its previous all-time high back here that was set right before the previous round of tariff concerns. So if we do see bearishness get baked into the SPY, we could end up seeing some correction take place on Bitcoin for quite some, for a little bit longer than we would like. We need to see stocks bounce, and we need to see other markets bounce as well. Now, interestingly enough, you did not see a correction basically whatsoever on gold. And the reason for that is very illuminating. The reason for that is because this is an asset that is kind of caught in the, that is kind of, double dipping, if you will. Gold is benefiting from what China is doing, trying to become an international custodian for gold. And the United States, of course, is a large international custodian and advocate of gold, both the nation itself and the American people. So it's very interesting to me to see that while the stock market is selling off, precious metals are not. Bitcoin, in the long run, tracks with gold far more than it tracks with the United States S&P 500. This is very important because if you do see a protracted sell-off in stocks, that may not carry over into Bitcoin as much as you would think if gold continues to do well. So that's just something I want you to keep in mind. All right, now let's go ahead and read the actual post. It's a bit long, so bear with me. For the sake of being thorough, I'm going to read all of it. I do hope that I guess let's just go ahead and read it. Donald Trump posted at about 9:45 this morning, some very strange things are happening in China. They are becoming very hostile and sending letters to countries throughout the world that they want to impose export controls on each and every element of production having to do with rare earths and virtually anything else that they can think of, even if it's not manufactured in China. Nobody has ever seen anything like this, but essentially it would clog the markets and make life difficult for virtually every country in the world, especially for China. And I'll expand upon the idea that he's talking about here in a moment with my background in physics, being able to help you understand why this is such a big deal. We have been contacted by other countries who are extremely angry at this great trade hostility, which came out of nowhere. Our relationship with China over the past 6 months has been a very good one, thereby making this move on trade an even more surprising one. I have always felt that they've been lying in wait, and now, as usual, I have been proven right. There is no way that China should be allowed to hold the world captive, but that seems to have been their plan for quite some time, starting with the magnets and other elements that they have quietly amassed into somewhat of a monopoly position, a rather sinister and hostile move, to say the least. But the United States has monopoly positions also, much stronger and much more far-reaching than China's. I have just not chosen to use them. There was never a reason for me to do so until now, hence the threat. The letter they sent is many pages long and details with great specificity each and every element that they want to withhold from other nations, things that were routine but are no longer routine at all. I have not spoken to President Xi because there was not a reason to do so. This was a real surprise, not only to me, but also to to all leaders of the free world. I was to meet with President Xi Jinping in 2 weeks at APEC in South Korea, but now there seems to be no reason to do so. The Chinese letters were especially inappropriate in that this was the day that, after 3,000 years of bedlam and fighting, there is peace in the Middle East. I wonder if the timing was coincidental. Depending on what China says about the hostile order that they have just put out, I will be forced, as President of the United States, to financially counter their move. For every element they have been able to monopolize, we have too. I never thought it would come to this, but perhaps, as with all things, the time has come. Ultimately, though potentially painful, it will be a very good thing in the end for the United States of America. One of the policies that we are calculating at this moment is a massive increase of tariffs on Chinese products coming into the United States of America. There are many other countermeasures that are likewise under serious consideration. Thank you for your attention to this matter. We live in a rapidly developing and rapidly changing world. I want to break down this tweet, this Truth Social post, from a few different standpoints. First and foremost, it's very important that you understand the significance of rare earth metals. So we're going to talk from the physics standpoint and from the chemical standpoint about rare earths and why they're so important to technology. Then I also want to talk a little bit about the geopolitics of what's going on here and what is motivating China. And then I want to talk about the conflict between the United States and China and why it's so important. First things first, what we realize when it comes to Chinese dominance is that they own a large percentage of multiple different elements. So there's about 92 different elements that appear naturally on the periodic table in the Earth's crust, all the way from hydrogen all the way through uranium. And there's some trace elements above that. But generally speaking, there's about 92 different elements that make up everything. Look anywhere in the room that you're sitting in, anywhere in the car you're sitting in, about 92 different elements make up basically everything, every single chemical compound. There's another 20 or 30 elements that are synthetically created, such as plutonium, right, or ununpentium, right, all of the ones that have been discovered over the last 20 years or so, but they're not naturally occurring. They're created in like the Large Hadron Collider or through nuclear fission or nuclear fission as radioactive byproducts. So these 92 elements, some of them are extremely common, such as nitrogen, such as hydrogen, such as helium, such as oxygen, such as iron, such as, multiple others. One of the ones that you're probably very familiar with that is very rare is gold. Gold is not a chemical compound. It is simply a single element. And it's one of the 92, right? And it is exceedingly rare, and it is considered to be a rare earth metal. It's not the rarest, but it's one of the more rare ones. You have others like palladium, technetium, iridium. There's many of these different elements that have niche but very important use cases in advanced technology that cannot be replicated any other way. If you want to do something in a piece of advanced technology, whether it be in the realm of computing, whether it be in the realm of robotics, whether it be in machining, whatever it may be, whether it's in a computer, whether it's in a smartphone, whether it's in an Optimus robot or a Tesla or a super carrier or an aircraft or a laser, whatever it may be, there's all kinds of different applications for about 10 to 20 different elements that are metals that are extremely difficult to come across. And their distribution in the Earth's crust is very much not random. It is not the same everywhere. And there are a number of rare earth metals that are almost exclusively found within Chinese territory. And this gives China, as you might be able to understand, an incredible amount of leverage on the world stage when it comes to trade. And that is very important because if you want to be able to continue to create the kind of advanced products that we have that fuel our modern society, then some of these these products require certain rare earth metals that are basically impossible to synthesize. You can't really synthesize them on scale. You can't. There's no cost-effective way to replace them with something else. Many of these cases, a lot of this is going on in medical implementations. For example, MRIs, whatnot. They require different kinds of metals that are quite rare. So much of our modern infrastructure runs on rare earth metals, and the Chinese have a strong monopoly on them. The United States also has monopoly on other rare earth metals that China doesn't have very many of. We have a lot of, and so that kind of leads me into the second part of what I want to talk about here, which is the geopolitics. Something you have to understand about the Chinese. The Chinese are going through an incredible, I'm just going to switch here onto this. You can read this if you want to while I'm talking. Something you have to understand about the Chinese is that they have a very narrow window to make something happen. And the reason for that is because their population is in major decline. I can pull up a chart on this. Their population is in decline, and it's going to continue to decline. You can see that the Chinese population actually peaked in 2020, coincidentally right around COVID, and it's actually been steadily beginning to decline over the last 5 years, and that will continue as a result of the one-child policy, later the two-child policy that was in effect for 20 to 30 years. The culture in China almost completely just left behind the idea of the nuclear family, having children, raising children, having large families. That completely stopped. So the Chinese population is forecasted to drop down to 1.2 to 1 billion people by 2050 to 2060, possibly under 1 billion by 2070. So they're going to lose 400 million people. That's more people than live in the United States of America, and that's naturally going to reduce their power on the global stage. They are already going through all kinds of different crises. They are going through water crises. They're going through housing crises. They're going through, their own version of stock market crises. They're going through hyperinflation because the Chinese government is intentionally devaluing their own currency to devalue their own debt. There's a lot of toothpicks and duct tape that have been baked into the Chinese success story over the last 25 years. And that is something that is not going to stop anytime soon. And so what I want you to understand is that China has about 5 years to really get their act together and take as much, to grow as much as they possibly can, because they're running out of steam. China is potentially at the strongest point that it has been at in history, and it is at probably what will be the strongest point it'll ever be at in history. So China has every single reason to try and attack the United States in any way, in any conceivable way possible. So this attack from the Chinese is not at all surprising. In fact, it's something that we've predicted, that they will continue to get more and more and more aggressive as the decade goes on, in the same way that if you corner a wild rabid animal, it's going to get more and more aggressive as you corner it more and more. So China will continue to become a wild card. You will continue to see things like this happening over the rest of this decade because China simply doesn't have any other choice. Now, what impact is this going to have on Bitcoin? The impact that this is having on Bitcoin is one of fear, uncertainty, and doubt, because Trump has been very forthright about the fact that this could cause some very serious retaliation from the United States of America. First and foremost, the thing that we need to see is the language of until now. Basically, we have the ability to flex our own muscles on the Chinese, but Trump has chosen not to do it in the pursuit of peace. At least that's the way that he would put it. And he is claiming that that is going to be coming to an end. In other words, we are looking right now at a what am I trying to say here? Apologies. We're looking at a heightening of tensions between the two nations, and we really need to see some kind of rhetoric coming from President Xi Jinping or coming from President Trump that says that that's going to be toning down, because instability between the two largest trading partners in the world is not something that you would traditionally call good for markets. It's very important that we need to understand all of that. So, where does this lead us? This leads the Bitcoin market and this leads the stock market into basically a bearish price discovery mode. Right now, we're in free fall. Bitcoin has not found a bottom yet. The United States S&P 500 and DJI have not found a bottom yet either. And so this is something that we are monitoring, and it is a little bit too early to make any calls. What I can say is this: Bitcoin, as we speak, is breaking through $117,000. We may end up seeing a price that starts with $116 relatively soon, even potentially over just the next few minutes. If that occurs, then that theoretically means that Bitcoin has broken through one of the most important Fibonacci levels that we have on our chart right now, which is drawn right here. And that Fibonacci retracement gives us our local high right here. So Bitcoin has 3 convergent levels of support at 117 to 118. We have this high. We also have the visible range volume profile macro point of control for the last several months of trading, which resides at exactly $117,000. As you can see, if we hide the chart, that is exactly where we're sitting right now. You can see that. It's exactly where we're sitting. It'll jump here in just a second. See, that's exactly where we're sitting right now. It's at 117,700. We're at 117 flat. So we're right on top of it. And then, of course, we also have that Fibonacci that we're talking about here. Now, we also have, there's also other, things to consider here. The first one would be, of course, we have this Fibonacci that we could draw like this. This Fibonacci would give us a Fibonacci retracement here down to $114,000. So we might drop down there, for example. But the point is, Bitcoin's trying to find a bottom, and it hasn't found it yet, and it would be too early to call a bottom because we just don't know where it's going to be. So right now, our job is to sit on our hands and watch and be patient. The patient trader is the trader that ends up making money. So if you're trading Bitcoin, I'm glad that I told you to hold off on the long trade that we had presented to you yesterday because fundamentals have shifted. And Bitcoin is currently pricing in that Truth Social post, and it doesn't seem to have confidence that it's done pricing in that Truth Social post. Right now, even as we speak, down here on the minute chart, you will see that Bitcoin is attempting to break through $117,000 as support. If it does, then we could easily go lower from here. You're going to want to watch this closely because at some point there will be a good long entry. That could be now, if you're comfortable setting a relatively conservative stop loss, because we do not have a confident level that Bitcoin is bottoming out on just yet. I don't personally, and you guys can tell me if you see something, I don't personally see any trend lines or anything like that that's jumping out at me. We're currently breaking through the 20 daily exponential moving average, so we can't really look at that. Our strongest zone of support was between 117 and 118. So if you're looking at a long entry, honestly, the best thing we have for you right now is right now. But that does come with some risk because Bitcoin is already $600 below where the long entry theoretically would have been, which is at, $17,600 at least. So I'm going to say hold off on going into your longs just yet. I don't think there's enough confidence, and frankly, I'm glad I'm saying that because as we speak, Bitcoin is breaking through 117. Looks like we're being vindicated on the spot. I always love when that happens, when we're talking and then Bitcoin just vindicates us. Literally, we just said, hold off on going into longs. You'll probably get it liquid. You'll probably get stopped out, and then Bitcoin drops right as we say that. Drops $300 in about 5 seconds, right? So as we're in free fall, not a time to open longs. We are not currently in a structured downtrend where we have a very obvious entry. And with that in mind, I would hold off on longs until we have at least somewhat of a confirmed trend. Now, that said, let's try and figure out when we would want to go into a long trade, right? One thing I'd want to point out is this downtrend right here. This downtrend on the minute chart shows us what Bitcoin has done ever since that Truth Social post this morning. And so this would be what is known as the bullish, the short safety line or the bearish safety line. If you entered a short as soon as he posted this, which that frankly would have been a really good trade, as you can see, if you entered a short as soon as Trump posted this, this would be the line that you would say, I'm taking profit if Bitcoin breaks above this. So if you're in a short trade, here's my counsel to you. Do what you want, right? You're an adult. Take your trades wherever you think. But I would say wait until this line breaks, and then that would be your short exit. That said, if you're a long trader, I would say wait until this trend line breaks, back test it as support, and then we build a new uptrend, and then we break it. I'd be looking for an entry around a place like this. That's what I'd be looking for. Confirmed uptrend of support, confirmed uptrend of resistance. We build a little channel, and we break it, maybe even after we back test down to it, and we enter right there with our stop loss right below. That's what I would be looking for. So, actually, you know what? We'll go ahead and leave all that on the chart. If you're going into longs, hold your horses. If you're in a short, let it ride. Not time to exit it just yet. If you're already up a lot, not a bad idea to take some profits because Bitcoin I got a feeling it's not going to drop a whole lot lower than this. But if you're in a short, you're going to want to go on your minute chart, get TradingView Premium, go wherever you need to go and get a 1 minute chart, and then take your exits if we break above this downtrend. It's the best counsel I'm going to be able to give you, best signals I'm going to be able to give you right now. As far as the long trade, nothing's showing up yet. We got to wait for that structure to build. Cool. Now, let's get on to, we kind of went through the first 2 major points. Let's get on to my third point. Long term, where's Bitcoin going? Long term, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I think all of this is going to blow over really soon. This is a hiccup. I really don't think that people are like, oh my gosh, the bear market's starting. The bear market's starting. The bear market's starting. We hit what? We hit 126. Bear market's starting. Bear market's starting. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that Bitcoin is anywhere near a bear market just because we hit 124.5, right? I don't think that that's happening right now. What I believe is going on is Bitcoin needed this wave 4 correction. It originally would have dropped us down to 118, which was our prediction, was a drop down to 118 and a bounce. Now this news came in while we were already correcting, which caused Bitcoin to be more bearish. And now Bitcoin is going to set a lower, higher low. Yes, I said that right. A lower, higher low. The higher low that we're going to set above this low will probably be lower than it originally would have been. But it will still be a higher low as compared to our end of September low of $109,000. We will probably drop down to 110 at the very, very most. We have our Bitcoin gap down here, for example, at 111. It's possible that we fill that. Very possible. Maybe since we're already only $5,000 away, Bitcoin needs to fill that semi-futures gap. If it does, that would be 12% retrace from all-time high, and that would also be a bounce off of the 0.236 Fibonacci level at 111. It would be our higher low, and then that would probably cause Bitcoin to go into a major rally later on this year. That would be, in my opinion, one of the best places to look for a long entry would be down around 111. If we don't get down there, of course, there might be better long entries, but that is one that I can actually say I'd be pretty confident in, is if we drop down to 111 or so, somewhere in that range, that we'd be looking at a long entry right there. Now, let me give you some more good news. If Bitcoin continues to crash over the weekend, that just means that we have a CME futures gap above our head, which will probably cause Bitcoin to go into a rally early next week. A lot of people are saying cycle top. I don't think so. I don't think so. Unless there's just a full-blown, like, nuclear trade escalation. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case at all. We have a historical precedent that Bitcoin follows gold. Gold has gone through a massive rally lately, and it has not cycled a bit into Bitcoin yet, but it will, and Bitcoin is going to go through a major breakout as a result of that. So, not too scared about this. Not really scared about it at all. Just looking for more entries. Just looking for more entries. Now, let's read a little bit of chat. I appreciate all of you guys being here. Someone said, you hit it right on the head. Blaze of music. Lol, not bear market, bro. Trust, they're trying to get you out of your position. Yup, they're trying to get you out of your position. None of the bull market top indicators have flashed. Not a one of them. If we go on over to coinglass.com, for example, there's several different pieces of data that we can bring you here. Let me see if I can get this up. Coinglass.com /. It's interesting. My internet doesn't want to pull it up. That's wild. Huh. I wonder if CoinGlass is down right now. It's odd. Not sure why CoinGlass doesn't want to do that. But most of the, we'll leave that there and see if that'll load. Most of the, in fact, not most, all of the cycle top indicators have not flashed at all. Jeb, I see no cross in the background. That's because it's around my neck. Literally right on the other side of this wall, we have a cross hanging up. All right, let's kick back, and we're going to keep looking at these charts. CME gap filled. Nope, that's down around 111, although it is possible that we're moving down there now. Let's kick back, read some chat, enjoy a cream soda Ollie pop together. Good stuff, man. And we're gonna rock and roll for a little bit. CoinGlass has been nuked. CME. We got in chat. Nope, not yet. CME is down around 111. Reminds me of the Elon end of the rally in 2021. Yeah, I don't think that. I don't personally believe that we're done with this cycle. I think there's a lot more to go. I noticed the pattern on Friday. It seems like they always dump on us lately. Yep. We're almost at the end of the downtrend. Friday's market is about to close soon. That's what I'm doing, sitting on my hands with a tidy sum on the side. Yeah, if we continue to drop here, just enjoy, enjoy getting the discounted investment price. Weakest ever ATH sweep followed by massive crash. Well, it makes sense when you look at the long term. It makes sense when you look at the long term because we've got this ultra long term uptrending level of resistance right here that Bitcoin is under. When Bitcoin finally breaks that, which it will, when Bitcoin finally breaks that, it's going to be guns a-blazing. Bitcoin's going to go absolutely nuts. But you do also have this longer-term uptrend right here that Bitcoin has been respecting. So you're going to see something explosive happen by the end of November. We'll see what. I'm predicting it's bullish, but something's going to happen. And by the way, that uptrend would be right about here. So that would allow for Bitcoin to fall back down to this uptrend, fill the CME futures gap, and bounce. So at this point, yeah, you know what? That's a good point. At this point... Let's validate that. I need to get more data on that. Yep. That's probably what's happening. That is interesting. See how close. Let's see how well I drew this trend line. Make sure I drew it well. Right there. Right there. Come up a little bit. Go down a little bit. Yeah. It's kind of a vague uptrend. But that's probably, yeah. At this point, that's probably what you're looking at. You're probably looking at a drop back down to this uptrend. Probably looking at a drop back down to this uptrend right here. That would make sense to me. Goes all the way back to the beginning of the bull market, kind of. Now, the issue with this is it's not a very clear uptrend. By the way, we are on the logarithmic chart. Yeah. At this point, I think I'd be comfortable saying Bitcoin's going to go back down to 112 and bounce. I'm leaning in that direction. I'm going to say I'm leaning in the direction of a drop back down to 112. I'm going to go with that. I think Bitcoin's going to take this occasion to drop back down to 112. Let's post it. Let's write it right here. Bitcoin to 112K by Friday, October 17th. Which, of course, will invalidate our prediction. Bitcoin to 130 by November 1st. Let's take a look at that November 1st. I think that's what you're going to see happen. We're going to drop that back down there. That makes a lot of sense. That does. That makes a lot of sense. That would put us rallying back up to 130. That could very easily still happen by November the 1st. Yeah. Yeah. I think I feel pretty confident updating our prediction to this. Bitcoin to 112. Let's see about 112. Sorry, not 112. 113. Bitcoin to $113,200. $113,200 by Friday, the October the 7th. That's what I'm thinking. October the 17th, I'm sorry. That's what I'm thinking. By the way, if you were in a short trade, I told you to wait and don't exit it yet. You're welcome. I love it when people hate on our channel. I need to start tracking it, but I genuinely think that about 70 to 80% of our calls are right. We get it wrong sometimes. We get the date wrong sometimes. It's not perfect, but I really do genuinely believe, because I try to track them as closely as I can so I know my own hit rate. Genuinely, we're probably looking at 70 to 80% of the time we're correct here. Yep. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say we got a couple more $1,000 to fall, because that uptrend down there is pretty strong. Let's see. Let's read some chat. All that big talk about BTC being a safe haven was bunk. Oh, that's cute. We got a gold bug in chat. Hey, man, we're friends. We're friends. You don't have to hate on us. We like gold. We're just better. Will you tell me what's acting like a safe haven today and what's acting like a tech stock? Yeah. Bitcoin's a lot newer. You know, gold wasn't very steady in its value 5,000 years ago when it was new. All the respect in the world to gold. I just think it's had its day. I am friends with anybody who will allow it in the gold community. Friends with anybody who will allow it in the gold community. Terrible degen move, but caught the falling knife and made a nice 30% profit. Yeah, if you guys have not already, this is an excellent time to get over into the Discord server. The Discord server is great because all my calls come out as soon as they're done being shot. This is the video that I told you guys to not take that long trade. That was uploaded here in the first cohort an hour and 37 minutes early, so you would have gotten that call even earlier over here, not to go into that long trade that we had originally talked about yesterday. There's a lot of chat going on over here, right? Lots of people doing lots of things. Most importantly, lots of people winning in trading, right? We have a 10x short right here on Bitcoin. Look at that. Look at that. Made 70%. Look at this long. That was from a couple days ago. 178%. Lots of people doing very well in our Discord server. So if you have not already joined our Discord server, and by the way, you can get into it for free. All you got to do is go and sign up for 2bit, which is our preferred non-KYC exchange, and you will get access to the best derivatives trading platform in the world, which is over here on 2bit. So if you've not already, make sure to sign up for 2bit with the link in the description box down below. When you sign up, you're going to get access to a fantastic exchange, 100x leverage, and all the tools that you need to trade these breakouts. And when you sign up for 2bit and deposit $100, all you have to do is send a screenshot of your $100 deposit to MalachiPats@CryptoJeb.com, and he's going to give you a 100% off coupon code to get into the Discord server for free for a year, which is very exciting. Very exciting. So get into the Discord server if you have not already. Now, something I do want to talk about here is this downtrend. If this downtrend breaks, that's where we start wondering about that 112. And one thing that I am excited about, and one idea that we could have, this not take place, is if Bitcoin bounces here off of the 0.5. The 0.5 is at 115,684. Bitcoin could hold that. But at this point, I think the magnetism from this uptrend will probably draw us in. That's what I'm thinking. It also would line up with the 0.382. So I think we're going to break the fib level we're above right now, drop back down here. So I'm going to be looking for investment entries and long trade entries around 113,200 to 113,500. Actually, we're going to call this 113,500 because it's a little bit higher than that. $113,500 by October the 17th. That's what we'll be expecting. All right. The people that can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. Yep. Try carrying gold across borders, dude. You'll get robbed blind. And if you try to move it across borders, they'll attack the crap out of you. The gold and Bitcoin chart follow each other. I'm not a hater of gold, but Bitcoin is more rare, and you can move it across borders. Unlike big bars of gold, you'll get jacked, bro. That's right. Fred is salty. He's been envious of Bitcoin the whole time. He's been holding gold for the past 20 years. Jeb, can we get advice on using stop losses? The first cohort needs it. Absolutely, Mad PT. Yeah, I try and explain that every time I can. That's what I try and do here, is make sure to give you guys good investment and good trading wisdom based off of our analysis, both fundamental and technical. By the way, right now, yeah, okay, never mind. The most important thing that you need to understand with the stop loss is that it is the way that you manage your risk. If you do not set good stop losses, then you will not be a profitable trader. Full stop. If you're the guy that thinks you're just going to wing it and you're not going to use stop losses and you're going to break the rules every time and you're just going to say, screw it, if I get liquidated, I get liquidated, my friend, you will get liquidated. Even if it takes you a few trades, even if liquidation for you means that you lose 20%, you lose 30%, you lose 50%, and then you lose 90%, and then boom, now you got $1 when you started with 1,000. That's good. That's as good as liquidated, right? Getting liquidated isn't just something that happens in one trade. It's something that can happen over the course of 10, 20, 30 trades because you keep taking losing trades and keep taking too much risk. If you get 1 out of 3 trades right, 33% of your trades you get correct. But you have a 5x risk to reward ratio on the trade, you will make more money than you lost, which is how you actually succeed in trading, by the way, is you keep your risk as low as possible and you keep your reward as high as possible. And after that is done, then you try to find good setups. If you are losing 25% of your capital every time you go into a trade, you are not going to end up being profitable because you're going to lose too much. It's just not going to happen. So that's why I want you guys to keep in mind. It absolutely is. The price of gold is largely controlled by the London Stock Exchange. I love gold. I respect gold. I don't own a single ounce. Just want to throw that out there. I think Bitcoin's better. Bitcoin is up 30 million% in the last 15 years. Yep. Agreed, Jeb. I've been the one that started with no plan and, in all intents and purposes, liquidated my $20,000 account by not managing my risk. But at the same time, you have learned a lot. At the same time, you've learned a lot, Mad PT. And I'm very proud of everything that you've learned in the Discord server. I've managed to talk to him quite a bit, and he's grown a lot. It's very exciting to see you guys growing over there. Jeb and Frankie Candles are two top-tier callers. Frankie Candles is a good guy. Pat him on the show. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. Hey, Fred, I have some lead bars wrapped in gold. You want to buy my counterfeits? Can't do that with Bitcoin. True. Love this pullback. Buy. Yeah, I know. I hope we drop down to 112, 113. Hang on one second, guys. All right. Now is a time that we are going to be moving into the end of the stream. Any questions you guys have? You guys are being very, very, very active in stream chat, so I'd love to hear your questions. Love this pullback. Double bottom on the 1 minute time frame. Yes, so far. Good bottom on the 1 minute time frame. Too early to really tell anything on the long term. Bitcoin is more rare than gold. There will only ever be 21 million ever. Yep, that's absolutely correct. That's absolutely correct. Why have gold when you got digital gold? I love this debate going on in chat between the gold bugs and the Bitcoin degens. Weigh in. Everybody, jump in. It's a gang fight. Don't bring a gun to a knife fight. The other way around. Don't bring a knife to a gunfight. Get in there. Scrap it. Debate it. I love seeing the debate. Be respectful. Debate. I love it. Gold is good for electronics and jewelry. Bitcoin is the new king. They're making you think that it's not. Think again. Yes, do be careful about not getting shaken out of your Bitcoin. People want to try and convince you to sell it by any means necessary. I have bet our family's entire financial future on Bitcoin. That's how much I believe in it. I have completely constructed almost every single financial system that we operate around a long-term acquisition and holding of Bitcoin. If I am wrong, we will be somewhat well off. We'll live. But if I'm right, our family will probably be billionaires within the next 30 years because of how much investment we are putting into Bitcoin, how much I believe in it, and where I believe it's going. Talk about paper Bitcoin. Yes, never buy anything that is paper Bitcoin, ever. Ever, ever, ever. Code and Kid said, Jeb, how's the family? They're doing good. They're doing good. They're doing good. Little baby's still learning how to sleep. She's 6 weeks and 2 days today. Watching that 1 minute. Does super cycle mean no alt season? That's a very good question. I think you'll still see alt season. I think it's going to be a while, though, at this point. I do think you need to see Bitcoin have a strong run before alt season takes place. I do think that. Looking like we might go lower than 116, which is a big even level of support on the 1 minute chart. I'm gonna have to wrap it out here pretty soon there, guys, just so you know. Since we did start a little bit late today. Bitcoin going on sale today. Enjoy. Yes, I know, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Ah, look at that. Fred said, by the way, I'm pro Bitcoin. It just needs to mature. Ha ha ha. The gold bug likes Bitcoin. Us young whippersnappers know a thing or two, don't we? Fred, go sit on your gold bars. He's doing good. I mean, he's doing very well. The only thing about gold is that it has underperformed Bitcoin. Was it DAU BTC, I think it is? DAX, what is it? Gold BTC. Oh my gosh, XAU, that's it. XAU BTC. Here's the chart you need to pay attention to. This is the value of gold priced in Bitcoin. Do I have my other mic? I don't have my other mic, so I'll just... mic drop. Normally there's a microphone sitting right there, so I just... It's the only chart you need to know. It's the only chart you need to know. For everybody who thinks gold's better, it's the only chart you need to know. Right? Same thing with USD over BTC. I don't know if that's even a chart. Are they even going to show that? I don't even know if they're going to show that. Yeah, they're not going to show it in the other direction. But it's the same thing. I mean, ETH over BTC. Ethereum has held its value against Bitcoin better than gold has. Oh, that is funny, isn't it? That is quite funny. ADA over Bitcoin. I love these assets, but it is very difficult to beat Bitcoin. And what you're going to see happen is you're going to see this chart right here on BTC over XAU break out. And you're going to see Bitcoin move up to 100 times the value of gold. You're going to see gold at maybe 5,000 and Bitcoin up at 500,000. That's what's going to happen. It's coming. Stay tuned. It's coming. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Let's get back down here on the 1 minute chart and watch while we look at the stream chat here. I'm going to probably wrap it out in the next 5 minutes or so. By the way, guys, if you have not already, make sure to sign up for Stamp Seed. Stamp your seed phrases into titanium, especially all you precious metal bugs that are so bent out of shape on having precious metals. Grab yourself a little bit of titanium. It's relatively cheap. It's going to help keep your seed phrases safe in the event of a fire. By the way, it's also very easy to hide these things. They come with 4 little, notice this, they come with 4 little holes in them. Go up in, you know, somewhere. I'm not going to give you too many ideas, but go somewhere, screw them into a board somewhere. They're almost impossible to detect on a metal detector. If the house burns down, you can go comb through the rubble and find them. And you'll be just fine. Bro, your accent can't get more American. Stone cold. Well, thank you. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I was born in the backwoods of Tennessee. And here I am. With Bitcoin being the only 10 I see. We will see this guy in a mental health institution very soon, Sai. Why do you say that? Why do you say that? I've been on YouTube doing the exact same thing for 8 years. Why do I need to be in a mental institution? I know there's a lot of people in this country that need to be in mental institutions. We made a mistake when we closed those down. Jeb, on a very unrelated note, how's your little lady doing? And very importantly, your wife? Doing pretty well. Doing pretty well. You know, she's not getting any sleep. You know, it's overwhelming having a newborn, so that's not easy. You know, she's tired. She's very tired. But in general, as far as physical health is concerned, Sarah's recovering pretty well. Not perfect. There's still some things that need to improve. So we're giving that time. I'm trying to be as supportive of her as I can, which is part of the reason why sometimes the stream's late or something, is that generally, actually not generally, literally every time if the stream's late, it's because I was doing something to, you know, try and support her in her postpartum journey. Because, you know, a lot of people consider postpartum to be like 2 weeks, or, you know, sometimes they even consider it 6 weeks. The way I look at it, postpartum is really at least 12 weeks for a woman's body to get anywhere close to getting back to normal. And they need a lot of support during that. And so for any of you guys out there, I know 90% of our audience is male. If your wife has a baby, you just need to consider the first 12 weeks, first 3 months, to be as if she's still pregnant. There's something called the missing fourth trimester. You basically need to act like she's still pregnant. She needs just as much, if not more, support during the 3 months postpartum as she did in that time leading up to birth. So take good care of her. It is an investment that you will get back in droves if you take care of your lady while she's postpartum. It'll mean the world to her, and she will always remember it. Our neighbor, she just lost her husband. They were married for 50-some years. A few months ago, before he passed, she told us he never changed diapers. He never once changed a single diaper. She loved her husband, but it's just something she remembers, you know? Never once. Never changed a single diaper. Women don't forget that kind of thing. Take care of your wife and help her. It is a great investment. It is a better investment than Bitcoin. Taking care of your spouse. Wives, take care of your husbands. It's a better investment than Bitcoin. It's a better investment than your kids. And so if you see me not here at a certain time, that's why. Now, that said, she is recovering, so I will be gradually becoming more and more consistent in my schedule as she continues to improve. I've been watching Jeb for years. He knows how to analyze Bitcoin. Thank you. I appreciate it. 1 minute is picking up. It's looking all right. Looking all right. Born on a Bayou, baby. I'm going to play that song right now. Love it. Love that. Love that. Let's read some more chat. Betting your family on one instrument. Crazy. Yep. Absolutely nuts. That's why we've done so well. It's because I'm absolutely crazy and I've done a crap ton of research. In the words of Andrew Carnegie, the founder of American Steel, put all your eggs in one basket. Just make sure it's a damn good basket. I can say that because I'm quoting him. How does Trump crash Bitcoin, Jebby? Boom. This tweet. It was the greatest tweet. You're Uptober. It's up over. No, it'll be just fine. Just give it time. Much love and respect, everybody here. Hang in there, guys. This was all by design. Yep, we're going to be just fine. Don't worry about it. It's only crazy until you're right. Yeah, I'm only insane until I'm right. And someone who's been holding Bitcoin for 8 years, I have a lot of conviction. I have more conviction in Bitcoin than probably anyone in chat. I got you all beat. I got you all beat. I love Bitcoin so much. I believe in it. It is the future. It is the future. The T word, tariffs. That's right. I'm glad to hear that Sarah's doing better. Yep, not totally recovered, but doing better. She's probably 70% of the way recovered. I'll say that. She's getting there. Congratulations on her new kid. Yeah, no, she's beautiful. She's beautiful. Uh-oh, here we go. If you're in a short trade and this downtrend breaks, that, my friends, is your exit. That is your exit. Don't miss your exits. Not here yet. Not here yet, but at this point in time, if you're in a short trade and we break above, I'd say 117, that's your time to take your profit. That's your time to be taking the profits. Go for a couple more minutes here. What Trump said for those living under a rock, please. He said that China threatened us with withholding rare earths, and he threatened to retaliate with, and I quote, extremely high tariffs. Markets are very scared of tariffs. They don't like the T word. So markets around the world, around the United States especially, are crashing right now. That said, it will be short-lived because there hasn't really been anything else so far. We should expect a defense on the 118,000 level if we want to bounce at the 112. We're eating the 50% level, and we'll probably close below. Weekend is at the door, so we'll probably end up at 118 weekly. If you are in a short trade, you are getting very close to your exit. You are like so close to needing to take profits. Do you hear me? If you are close, you know what? People do not like to listen. They like to say, "Jeb, you didn't say that." Right here. Take short profits if above 116.9, 117.50. Let's call it that. Not yet. Not quite yet. You're not quite there. to be clear. But, like, that's pretty good. Yeah. Take short profits if above 117 and 50. That's what I'm going to say. I've been watching you since 2020. Keep doing what you're doing. You're a good man. Any goodness in me is because of the Lord Jesus Christ and the Lord Jesus Christ only. Thank you very much, everybody, for your support. I do really appreciate it. Already took my exit and started soft building long. There you go. Yeah, it's not a bad thing if you take your profits right now on short trades. I'd say any minute now it'd be okay to take profits on the shorts. Any minute now. Look at that. That's hilarious. Literally, it hit 117.50. So, yeah, I'd say any minute now it'd be okay to take your profits on your short trades. Right in here. Anytime now. If you want to take profits on short trades, now's probably a good time to do it. Just going to go ahead and write this call down. See if it comes true or not. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm right. The confusion in the guy who gets back into a short. Yeah. Salute to everyone here like Jeb with diamond balls and knowing that you can't stop the future. We're going to look back in 5 years and laugh at this. Remember my words. Yep, Bitcoin's going to be good. Scare money, don't make no money. That's right. Peace out, Jeb. Christ is king. That's right. They always call the smart people crazy. Remember that. Yes, they do. Christ is king, and that's all we need to say. The truth will come out. The truth will come out. I have no idea what happened with Charlie, but it is definitely confusing. It is definitely confusing, isn't it? Lots of new information coming out, huh? Thanks, Jeb. Much appreciated. Much appreciated to you as well. Tempted to sell some silver and buy Bitcoin today? Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. What are you looking at regarding a long entry? Honestly, until I see more structure form, I'm looking at a long entry down around 113. Contingent upon new market structure being built in the 116 to 117K region, it's possible we could have a long entry soon. But most likely we're looking at, we could be seeing more of a drop. It's possible that this correction right here will, give us a long entry as well. So watch out for that. A long entry could be forming right now. We're just going to have to be off stream by the time it would. Time to enjoy my day. Can you check your 5-minute trend line, Jeb? Ooh, look at that EMA. Look at that beautiful, sexy EMA right there, the 20. I assume that's what you're talking about. Look at that. Wow, okay. So you could take profits now, or you could wait a little bit. If you've already taken a lot of, you've already done very well, I just close out and take some profits. Hope if we close high today, it'll be all right. We get a big, falling knife wick, it'll be all right. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and sign up for 2Bit. Seriously, guys, it supports the channel. We really appreciate it. Sign up for 2Bit. Link is in the description box down below. You can get access to all the leverage you need, right? You can get access to everything that you need over here. It's a fantastic non-KYC. It's very important. No KYC leverage trading platform where you can trade derivatives. Sign up for 2Bit. Links down below. Get trading over there. It's the best thing to do. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, I know. No. Yes, absolutely. I was responding to something else. Where are you from in the U.S.? I was born in Tennessee. In Tennessee. My name is Jared Webb McAfee from Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Thank you. Thank you very much. What's your outlook on Bitcoin this month? Still very bullish. We are still in October after all, guys. We are still in October after all, guys. Time to enjoy my day. I'm gonna watch Tank Davis fight with Jake Paul on their social media platform. Nice. Love from Idaho, guys. John said to join your Discord server. Sign up for 2Bit. Links down below. Deposit $100. Send a screenshot of the $100 deposit to MalachiPats@CryptoJeb.com. Those instructions are in the description. They're repeated down there. You don't need me to say it here. They're in the description. You can just read it and do it. He will respond with a coupon code to get you into the Discord server for free for a year. That's a $419 value. There's the breakout. Hopefully you've exited your short trades, as I told you to. If you didn't, maybe it's not too late. If you didn't, it's not too late. Rectober. This is probably a short closer pump. Probably. All right, guys, I do have to wrap it out. It is getting late. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you enjoyed today's stream. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, sign up for 2-Bit, guys. It supports the channel. If you want to see expansion here on the channel, if you want to see growth, if you want to see us hiring, more people on our team, doing more research, building more courses, bringing more content into the Discord server, the best way that you can do that is by interfacing with the different revenue streams that we have. When you sign up for 2-Bit, then that's a revenue stream for us. It helps to fund our expansion. I'm not just getting rich off of this, guys. I am trying to build something where I can bring you more information. My dream here is to build out different revenue streams. We bring on different sponsors. We have I Trust Capital. We're about to bring on a couple of other big names that you know as sponsors to the channel. We're building out revenue here so that I can increase labor. We're about to bring somebody on full time to help me in a high level capacity here at the channel. Naturally, that costs money. So if you want to get access, if you want to see this channel grow, then sign up for our sponsors. Sign up for 2-Bit and all of that, and make sure to sign up for Stamp Seed, all these different guys, so that we can grow our channel here, so that we can build our brand, and so that we can continue to bring you high-quality technical analysis, high-quality educational and informational content every single day here on the Coffee and Crypto live stream, on the Crypto Jeb YouTube channel, and in every single area of our lives. If you guys want to learn more about technical analysis, then make sure to check out the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. This is the highest-rated, best-reviewed technical analysis academy in the entire world. You can use coupon code JEB20 to sign up for CT2A right now at the link in the description box down below and join over 5,000 students that are learning every single day about how to be better technical analysts. I hope you did enjoy today's video. Hit that subscribe button if you have not already. I love you very much, and before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good feeling.